Hey everyone, happy Friday, November 8th, 2024. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, including some unseasonably warm temperatures, heavy snowfall, and more storm systems moving across the country, followed by the tropics at the end of the video. Yeah, I know that's a lot. So let's get right into it here. And you can see we do have a lot of warmer temperatures across southern Canada and the eastern United States. You walk outside here on this Friday and you're wondering, why is it so warm outside? Well, big ridge of high pressure across southern Canada and the eastern U.S. with sun-splashed skies. That sunshine, even though it's a lower sun angle, goes to work and we warm our temperatures up nicely. And also a complement of the drought as well. The drought in these areas, pretty significant. So drier ground heats up faster. That's why we're also warmer across these areas. Big cold pocket aloft of air across portions of the Four Corners region in the southwest U.S. that's fueling our snow system down here in Colorado and New Mexico, with plentiful amounts of snow down here. But let's look at the afternoon highs today. We're into the 50s again. Very nice conditions across the upper Midwest, Great Lakes. Hey, it's early November. It's the 8th day of November. We can't complain. We're in the 70s and 80s in the southeast coast as we go from the Carolinas back all the way into coastal Texas and eastern Texas today. And then there's that colder pocket aloft there in the desert southwest. You can see Saturday afternoon continuing to see some mild conditions across the eastern U.S., and that'll honestly carry over into Sunday as well, with actually a few areas in the Midwest warming toward the 60s by the end of the weekend there on Sunday. Here's our new storm system that we've been tracking over the past 24 to 48 hours, and you can see with the vorticity signature, basically what this shows is the brighter the color, the more spin there is in the atmosphere. And there's a lot of spin down here. So a low pressure system sitting down near Colorado and in New Mexico here today. And that's going to move up toward Nebraska as we go into tomorrow on Saturday, November 9th, and then move toward Wisconsin and the upper Midwest by Sunday, November 10th. And it's going to bring precipitation along with it. And actually, we do have winter headlines across parts of Colorado, New Mexico, even western Oklahoma panhandle, and the far northwestern Texas panhandle. So to break this down for you, in the blue shaded colors here, those are winter weather advisories. In the pink shaded colors, those are winter storm warnings. And in the orange here in northeast New Mexico, those are blizzard warnings. And then on the warm side of the system in the green into western Oklahoma and northwestern and western Texas, those are flood watches where we have a lot of runoff from the water here that is falling from those clouds. So this afternoon, warm side, yes, heavy rainfall threat. Some flash flooding will be possible from western Oklahoma down into northwest Texas. Snow side, 1 to 3 inch per hour snow rates is a likelihood across eastern Colorado today. Seeing some pretty heavy snow there, especially east of Denver. As we go into tonight, the rainfall will start to move up into Nebraska, Kansas, and southwestern Missouri even as we go through tonight. Going into Saturday, some of that moisture will spread up toward the Hawkeye state of Iowa, into Missouri, also Arkansas as well, maybe even as far north as the Dakotas and Minnesota. So it'll start to get wet as we go into Saturday. And then into Sunday, that low pressure system, 1005 millibars, will move into the eastern side of the Badger State here, and that could actually bring some heavier rains from the Ohio and Tennessee Valley down toward the Gulf Coast as we round out the weekend there on Sunday. So here's the moisture we're looking at over the next couple of days. This goes through Monday, Veterans Day on November 11th. Heavier rains across western Kansas, western Oklahoma down into Texas, with some of these areas could be seeing an additional 1 to 3 and isolated even 4 inches of rainfall. Heavier rains from the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley down in towards the Gulf Coast. Could be seeing a couple inches over here. And then additional snowfall. Eastern Colorado, the big winners, we could be seeing another 2, perhaps 3 feet worth of snow in those higher elevations off the Front Range. So if you are skiing out here, you're going to love the snowfall as we go through the weekend. But traveling, probably not going to love it as much because we are seeing major extreme travel impacts across eastern Colorado as we go through Monday, November 11th on Veterans Day. So if you're traveling into eastern Colorado or even northeast New Mexico, make sure it's advised that you slow down, leave plenty of room between you and the car in front of you as we go through that time frame. Heading into next week, the weather pattern is going to remain intact with a ridge of high pressure across the central and eastern U.S. and central and eastern Canada. And as we mentioned at the beginning of this video, high pressure brings lots of sunshine, lots of calm conditions, but warmer temperatures going into that second full week of November. And any of the colder temperatures will be bottled up to the north toward the Arctic Circle or over here in the Pacific Northwest with this bigger trough coming in next week. And you can see there's not much cold air, but if you blink, you miss it. You can see across California, maybe the Four Corners region where we laid down the snowfall pack. We definitely could be seeing some colder air, but outside of that, really that high pressure, again, dry ground with the drought heats up faster than a wet ground does. So the sunshine, even with the lower sun angle, will go to work in warming that up. And we're going to definitely see above normal temperatures for southern Canada and the central and eastern U.S. for much of the second week of November. We are going to start to see more storm systems traversing across the lower 48 and southern Canada too. So we're going to see a little bit more of some action across the Pacific Northwest, even the Cascades getting some decent precipitation, more likely obviously in the snowfall category because in the higher elevations this time of year, you're going to see snowfall. Heavier rains though across the deep south potentially through next week. Let's walk you through this starting off on Monday, Veterans Day, November 11th. Many of you have work and school off. It's going to look like a pretty nice day across most of the country. Big high pressure here in Colorado, sun-splashed skies, some precipitation here from our Sunday system going over into Monday. Could be bringing some snowfall up here into Ontario and Quebec, some heavier snows at times, liquid precipitation, all rain for the eastern seaboard, and then our big storm coming in across Seattle, Portland, and even into Northern California, bringing heavier rain, maybe a mixed bag there for the Cascades. Snowfall moving into the Rockies on Tuesday, but eastern U.S. is pretty dry with the high pressure there in eastern Canada. And then as we go into Wednesday, new low pressure. This is down to 995 millibars, so a stronger system. Would not be ruled out maybe a couple isolated severe storms from Missouri, from I would say St. Louis all the way down toward Little Rock and even the Dallas-Fort Worth area on Wednesday. We'll keep an eye on that, but right now, looks like a heavy rain system. Thursday, same thing. Can't rule out an isolated strong storm or two for the mid-Atlantic for like the Delmarva region, the Poconos, maybe down there towards Virginia and even in towards the Carolinas, watching out for that. Mainly, again, just heavier rainfall, snowfall on the colder side of the system on Thursday up there into Ontario. And then Friday comes along, and again, we dry out quite nicely and we reload the atmosphere. A new storm system spreading snow into the Pacific Northwest to end next week on Friday, November 15th. And that would mark the middle of November. So overall, next week, going to be pretty wet across the Pacific Northwest. Seattle in Portland, Oregon, in particular, we're going to see some very heavy rainfall, so 2 to 4, even 5 inches, 6 inches cannot be ruled out across some of these areas. Soaking rains, beneficial rains during the middle of next week, mainly Wednesday, Thursday timeframe for the central and eastern U.S., and then the heavier snows will be coming in as more systems move in through the week. Cascades, Sierras, and the Northwest Rockies will be the big winners here. But we don't want to discount northeastern Manitoba or northern Ontario, Canada. We could be seeing very heavy snow up here on the order of 2 to 3, even 4 feet as we go through next week. We'll be watching out for that as we go closer toward that time frame. Now let's finish off with the tropics, because it's not that big of a deal, because this system is looking more likely to stay off of the Gulf Coast and not really directly impact the U.S., but it's still noteworthy. Hurricane Rafael is still spinning down here in the central Gulf of Mexico. Here's the wind history. It did make landfall in western Cuba and just east of the Grand Cayman Island just the other day as a major hurricane category 3. It is still producing near Cat 3 hurricane force winds at 110 miles per hour. This is officially a Category 2 system. Category 3 is just very close there, but you can see the system is going to remain a hurricane through Saturday and kind of meander across the western Gulf before dropping south as a post-tropical cyclone towards Mexico. And really the intensity of the system really going to be dropping off over the next few days, so that's certainly good news to see. Here we go through today. Borderline Cat 2, high-end Cat 2, low-end Cat 3 type storm into the central Gulf today. Tomorrow on Saturday, weakens to a Category 1 hurricane. Maybe if it weakens fast enough to maybe a strong tropical storm by then. Then a post-tropical cyclone as we go into Sunday and Monday, as this really kind of washes out into the western Gulf and over the open waters there. So that's some good news. Looks like no landfall for the United States. We'll keep you updated on that throughout the weekend. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the Weather on the Go for the latest weather information right at your fingertips. Turn on all post notifications so you are notified when we do a video or go live on this channel. Make sure to press the like button. It's the thumbs up down below. And also, of course, leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those later on today, and I hope everyone has a delightful rest of their Friday.